summarize what is we talk about local participation in terms of mechanism, you will see that they have so many tourism stakeholders that you cannot ignore, right? May start from the owner or the owner of the company, or if we talk about in the government level, we'll see we will talk about the policy maker, right? Or central government, and then we have the private sector, okay? And then we talk about partnership, how we can integrate, how we can agree to have the same direction. We talk about NGO, they have very good mind, they have very strong commitment to support the society, right? And then we have the locals in terms of local business, local school. And when we talk about local business, you're not going to count only the big one, but we also count the smaller one as well. Then you have to categorize the groups of, the SME level, like small restaurant, or even like the very small souvenir shop, or even like the taxi driver. So that in particular, they have some special issue that you probably never think about it, but then you have to understand what is their motivation to join your project. And then we talk about media, right? We talk about media, the new media or the big, the mass media that can help you, and they learn with you as well about, how to support the society to be better. So that they have very good objectives. So then we set up, if they think that is the future of our countries, why not? So the media will become to be a very significant impact for us. Then don't forget to count the bloggers, like travel blogger is the new media. They become to have, they change their lifestyle. They start to travel in very details, like walk into the place that nobody go, but it's news. But again, they can be responsible traveler as well. Why not? They can change the attitude, and then they can deliver that message to be the trendsetter. So that's a very good start. And that means maybe the last one we talk about the peoples in terms of, maybe you probably never know, we talk about people that you never count, like the temples, the influencer in particular destination. Sometimes in that destination can have like a monk, the leader, who actually have pay significant impact. If their opinion follows in this way, then the people in the community will follow. Then you have to find out who is the influencer in particular area. So that will be very helpful, because if we can invite them to join us, that will be very, very good impact for understanding of the scope or the objective and direction. So that is overall about participation, local participation, and the mechanism that we cannot tend to ignore these all peoples. And also we have to make sure we inform them in terms of race awareness, understanding of the clear objective. They have very clear direction, and also you have a strong commitment together. The job allocation, who respond in which part, and also we'll talk a little bit more about monitoring process, like how you monitor, because it's long-term process in terms of sustainable development, and that will be an issue of how to implement and take a real action. So this is why the local participation or involvement is very key issue for sustainable development. And then when our kings start to initiate the sufficiency economies, it's not only about himself. he involved to the university. He involved with the locals or community. So that to study about how to form the team to understand the local context. So this is what based on international come down to the local context. Then you will see that they still have something the same. So then it's up to the locals context in your place. Finally, come to the conclusion. Time fly. Actually, it's not things talking about sustainable for the whole life, but then it's come to the conclusion, which is maybe you still remember what we have studied, right? So we start from the definition of sustainable tourism. We link to sustainable tourism development. We link back to the local context of the sufficiency economy. Talk back to what our kings, Ramanais have done, several projects, and then talk about the triple bottom line, which is include with the profit peoples and planet. So that's right now you cannot tend to ignore the planet and peoples. So that's just we just discussed about it. And also because of sustainable tourism development, we need to know about how to make it happen. So that's why how to make it effective. Then we try to go into the details of local participation. It's not standalone plan. So sustainable tourism developments never come out with the key of local participation. So that's you can see that all things that we have talking about is actually become to be something that is quite close to you. Maybe you can apply to yourself. Maybe you working as the entrepreneur, or you work as the educators, or you work as a government agency. This one can apply to your scope of work, and in particular to yourself. If right now you start to ask yourself about, after we listen to the idea and concept of the new lens of sustainable tourism, did you find something new? Did you change some things in particular? If you start to change yourself, start to look back to what's happening around you, even you look at your office, even you look at your house, even you look at the people surround you, is anything changed? And look at the sky, maybe it's something that's uncontrollable that you probably never know. So that's why when we talk about sustainable tourism development, don't forget to ask about yourself. Did you change the attitude? If you change the attitude, that means that will be come to the good start of developing the sustainable scheme. Change your mind. When you think about to apply to yourself, drink quality water from the place, maybe your house. You don't need to buy the plastic bottle every day, because you remember it's actually affect a lot of environment. Talk nicely with your colleagues. The reason because the world is uncontrollable. So we need to have very good people surround you to create some good things together. Money is an issue, but it's not the big deal, because you have to ask yourself, what is your real happiness? In terms of real happiness, money is not only one issue. The real happiness, only you who knows. That is the end of this section. Maybe the near future you will practicing, and then we can discuss about it later on. So สวัสดีค่ะ